Hey, hello everyone, Bruno here, and today I'm going to talk about a super cool feature that we have in Visual Studio Code and other IDEs, which is basically define custom instruction for all of our AI generated assistants. In this case, of course, Copilot. So let's start with the with the source of everything. In Visual Studio Code, in example, we have the chance to define custom instructions. So when Copilot is going to, in example, generate code or make suggestions, is going to follow these instructions. There are two ways that we can do this. We can do and apply custom prompts in the settings, or we can even create a custom file, which I think is very good practice because if you work in a team, you can share this in repos and more. And those files are going to have the definition of what you are doing. I was taking a look at the document, taking a look at the options here, and I found this amazing article from a couple of days ago where Nikki, can't remember, I couldn't figure out the name of the user, but he basically explained everything that you need to do to create your own .NET GitHub Copilot tools. And he provided a couple of samples. So what I am going to do, I am going to pick up his repo where he have all of these instructions, for an example, for code generation, for review selection, for test generation, a lot of different scenarios. And he has everything here. And we are going to apply this into our standard console application here. By the way, this is the coding style. So he has a couple of files here. We can see that in the repo we have prompts and we have rules, coding guidelines, coding style, testings, and more. So tons of stuff that we have here. And I use his files, and what I did is I add some crappy comments here where I'm going to say, hey, always add comments to clarify, include emojis, make jokes, and more. So let's give it a try in a simple project where I have here a console application, and I'm going to ask to add, let's do some reference here. In program file, add two numbers and return the result. Right now, I don't have anything defined here, so GitHub Copilot is going to, by default, use one reference here, which is the program, and it's going to suggest a standard A plus two numbers, 5 and 7, add the two numbers. I have the two numbers here and show the response, which is kind of nice. I would say that apply this, and you know the Copilot style. So as applying everything, keep, here we are, we have here. So this is fine. This is what we have. But what I am going to do now, I don't have any instructions here in the VS Code. I only have, it's an empty folder. So let me copy here. I have it in another window. Let me copy all of the files. Now I copy the files. We have prompts, we have rules, and in the rules, as I show, we have in C# coding guidelines here. Let's minimize this a little. So I have write some code and make some jokes, include emojis and more, which I really like. It's kind of a sample how it works. So let's go back to our Copilot chat here. And important, when we did this, it only used one reference because it's only applied the generated code to the program file. But let's try to do the same. But in this case, now that we have everything, we can basically use this, including the custom files. And what I am going to do also, just in case, I am going to reload the window because we need to wait some time until we have everything. By the way, I am going to move myself later to other places, but I think it's good enough to see how it works. So here we are, load all of the extensions. Oh, let's ask again the question. So I'm going to go to the chat and in the file, program CS, add two numbers and return the results. So let's see this, how it works. And by the way, I'm not changing the model. I'm working with Cloud 3.7 here. But important, the first time that we run this, we now see that we are using three files, the coding styles, the coding guidelines, and the program files. And if we take a look at the generated code here, by the way, let's add it into the console. Sorry about this. We are going to have a super crappy code here where we have get two numbers. Let's do some mathematics and jokes and quotes. Everything is here. So, hey, I really like this. Following this instruction, this custom instruction, we can really add value of the way that we are coding, and also we can define how we are going to generate tests, do a lot of things. This is the first step to also define behaviors when we start to use agents and more. So I hope you like it. Thanks a lot for sharing. Appreciate the likes, subscribe, and more. And hey, have a great day. Goodbye.